You are tuned in to What Up Baltimore online radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed on this channel are of the host and not of Lady J Media. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, What Up Baltimore TV. And if you really don't want to miss any of the shows, hit that notification bell and you'll get a message every time we come on. Now, we got it from here, so sit back, relax, and stay tuned.
I know you do. I know you do, because that's what I do. I give you that kind of love that makes you come back. I'm your pusher, baby. I'm your pusher.
Why do you make you push a
Hey, little black boy, let me holler at you for a minute. I was once in your place, you should respect what I say. Some of the things I'm about to tell you just may save your life in the world right now much is right. Little black boy, you're gonna see and experience all sorts of things, but don't let your mind be locked in the chain. Hello. Welcome to Spitfire Poetry Shutdown. I am your host, John Hansboro. It is April 19th, 2023. I hope everyone is having a wonderful evening thus far. This show is being brought to you by by Butterfly Entertainment. Please go to ladyjmedia@gmail.com. Find out ways to watch the show. Also, log on to our YouTube page, What Up Baltimore Online TV. Download the page, subscribe to the page, share the page, tell your family and friends about the page, all right? Today, it's a lot going on with me today. I am so elated and excited right now. My Lakers getting ready to start playing at about 7:30. Tomorrow is 420. I'll explain that in a little bit. My birthday is next week on Tuesday, and on next Wednesday's show on the 26th, we have my sister Erica EJ the Poet Erica Epps EJ the Poet. She has a wonderful book out. We're gonna chop it up with her and see how she's been doing. I've had her on the show a couple times. Really talented sister. And it's just a pleasure to talk with her. I appreciate her support. All right. Today, we got my brother, Vic The CEO. All right. Not my biological brother. Shout out to my biological brother, Vic The Hansboro, supports me in everything I do. But we got my man, Vic The CEO today. All right. He should be logging on any minute now, hopefully. What else is going on? April 23rd. Please keep in mind we got Arthur Poet Shakespeare is doing an open mic. Thank you, Lady J. And I got 2 shirts for you. One of these and a usual favor. I'm going to get to that too. Yes, April 23rd. And I think it's Club Sizzle. Follow my sister Arthur Poet Shakespeare. She's doing an open mic day. I cannot wait for that. That's going to be really good. Also, stay up with me as much as you can because I'm going back to Glory Days in June and do open mics at the wonderful patio that they have out there. I used to know the address by heart, but I forgot now. But it's right on Joppa Road. I'll give you more information with that as we get close. Probably actually within the next month, really. A shout out to everybody at Glory Days in Towson that helped me and supported me when I first started doing these open mics. They were a big help in a lot of things that me and my wife did there. What else, man? Okay, so tomorrow is 420. All right. For those who don't know, 420 is a national marijuana day. Okay. So anyone who consumes or anyone who smokes, please do it responsibly tomorrow. Be healthy, do it the right way. Be careful out here. It's a lot of craziness in the streets. Try to get your card if you can. Do it the right way, man. All right. So everybody for tomorrow, be safe, smoke and consume responsibly. All right. Also, if you have not gotten your taxes done and you waited to the last minute like I did last week, you need to go and see my man Ahmed Rana at 300 25th Street. 325th Street. He's right on the corner. The Baltimore Tax King. Look him up. He's got great reviews. He's going to get you your maximum refund. And he's always got a good word for you too. That's a really positive brother right there. I appreciate him and everything that he does. All right. So like I said, you want to look for Baltimore Tax King. Get it done now, y'all, because I think it's too late now. I think 18th was the last day yesterday, but if you got to get an extension or whatever. But definitely look him up. All right. Ahmed Rana, Baltimore Tax King. You don't want to miss that. So I'm just going to get right into some poetry, man, because I'm just so pumped right now. All right. Hopefully my brother Vic The CEO will be on. If not, I got some material for you. That's for sure. Y'all know that. Also, I want to thank everybody who has purchased Unusual Favor, my first book ever published. This book was released in April of 2020, right around my birthday. And I'm about to release Unusual Favor Part 2. So Part 1 was Unusual Favor, a true account of addiction and infidelity. I know that light may be messing you up so you can't see that, but a true account of overcoming addiction and infidelity. Some things that me and my wife went through that I was blessed to be able to share because we were able to come out on the other side of it, God willing, and things of that nature. So yeah, Unusual Favor 2, though, I will be releasing next month. That one is called Victory in the Storm. Unusual Favor 2, Victory in the Storm. All right. My books, my books, Spitfire Poetry Volume 1 and 2 are still available on Amazon. The weather is nice now. So anybody that's been following me for, at least a year or two, I like to get out in the parks and get out there with my table and my books and you know what I mean, meet the people and make it happen. I can't just sit around. I gotta push stuff. I gotta do stuff. So this summer you'll find me at Lake Montebello. Bro, what's up, Vic?
Tell me you can hear me.
Oh man, can I? That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
You'll catch me at Lake Montebello this summer and at Patterson Park. All right. Now, without further ado, we got my brother Vic The CEO on here. Now check this out, y'all. Listen, it's Poetry Month. It's April. I wanted to give y'all some special words, some special spoken word from a lot of my favorite artists, and just about everybody that I bring on here is one of my favorite artists. Some people I brought on I've never even met before, but most of the guests that I've had, I've been following them. They don't even know it, and then I'll hit them up and invite them to come on my show. And this brother right here, him and his wife, they are the producers of 4 Authors. Look that up. That is an all-black publishing company that's going to put you in the right direction. Talk about it, bro. What else you got? First of all, tell the people who you are, Vic. Let me shut up.
I don't know why people get upset when I tell them we ain't black. They be like, what you mean we ain't black? I say, what color your skin? They be like, black. I say, tell a painter paint your wall and see if it come that complexion, huh? If you asked for a black car and it came out your brown skin complexion, you would send that car back to get a black car. How do we own the ones that got a color, black and white? What color everybody else is, bro?
In between.
Right? That's why they got us beefing so much. We act like we so special. We the only ones with a color, so we beef about black and white. The fuck out of here.
Right.
Shit don't even make sense. What's the topic for today, bro?
Man, listen, we just gonna do some poetry. Whatever you want to get off your chest, you know what I mean? We're gonna do some of that first. I definitely want to talk about some of the things that's going on out here. You know, I'm trying to keep it positive though, bro. I'm feeling good right now. Tomorrow's
That's what's up. I do
420.
too.
You know what I mean? Tomorrow's 420. I've been off of work for a few days.
Only holiday I celebrate.
Yeah, you know, so I'm you know, I'm feeling pretty good, but I do want to get into some ways that we can try to, I don't know, man, combat what's going on in these streets. You know, the young guys out here now, man. I stopped for gas now, and it's like I get offered everything from weed to pills. Like it's crazy. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say I'm 2 miles about that, right? They have this president over in Amsterdam. He's like Trump. He was on a, lock them all up, ship everybody back to their country type mindset, right? I personally don't care about what people's mindsets are. Everybody's entitled to believe what they believe. I don't think nobody's entitled to impose their beliefs on other people. So the same way, we got the right to choose who we listen to.
Right.
So for anybody that don't like what I'm saying, don't listen to me. If you're interested, hear me out. See where I'm going to with it. So check this out, right? Remember, Amsterdam was one of the safest countries for a while because they had a red light district.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am not one to promote cocaine use, heroin use, none of that. I don't. I have relatives that were addicts. I have relatives that I have lost to opioid addiction. But I tell you, like, with this legalization they doing across the country of marijuana, it always confused me how the safest substance is the one that you want to put everybody in jail for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, alcoholics beat their wives and children every day, lose control due to alcoholism. In fact, it's harder to detox from alcohol than any other substance.
Mm-hmm.
But I could go buy bottles and bottles off the shelf and nobody gives a shit. I have relatives that have been in the hospital for alcohol poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to meet a person who has smoked so much weed that it has caused the problem.
Right.
Now, you can talk about somebody that got a bad back, some lace shit, some goofy put some fentanyl on some weed. Why would anybody do that? I don't know.
Right.
But that was the fentanyl that did that, not the weed. And that was some dumbass who added fentanyl to weed. The fact of the matter is people been getting high since forever, yo. Since before we started organizing drugs as we do now.
Absolutely.
And it's weird because if it's
reminds me,
it's okay.
It reminds.
Huh?
I'm sorry to cut you off, but it reminds me of the way they did the alcohol
prohibition
back in the day. Yeah, you know what I mean. That's what it reminds me of, basically.
You know what was crazy? During prohibition, all them cops that was locking people up for bootlegging,
right?
They was going to the bars and speakeasies and getting drunk their damn self.
Absolutely.
So here you go. You have a country that holds what we hold 5% of the world's population, yet 25% of the world's prisoners are in this country. What a lot of people don't realize is that the prison industry in the United States is actually a new transformation of slavery. And it's a lot of people say, oh, there you go with that bullshit. Nah, dead ass. Read your Constitution. The 13th Amendment says verbatim, and I probably said this on your show before, but it definitely bears repeating. The 13th Amendment says verbatim, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist in the United States or its territories, except for the punishment of a crime when one has been duly convicted. That was clause 1. Clause 2 says that Congress is, and I'm paraphrasing this part, but that Congress has the right to enforce these laws. So here we go. They tell us that the only time slavery can exist is if we incarcerate somebody. And who is the most incarcerated people in this country? Us.
Right.
Us. Now, we're not the only ones incarcerated by far. We're not the only ones, but we are by far the largest population. So they just re-implemented slavery and took it out of the public eye because it's not appeasing for people to see. We want to believe that we're being good people and we're doing the right thing, even when we're doing the most heinous acts in the world. Think about it. It's against the law. It's a federal crime to pay somebody less than minimum wage. Right. So how the fuck is it that in the prison system they pay the people $1 a day? And yeah, people say they should be grateful and thankful to work. Why? You have me working in a prison for no money, so I have no funds to save up, and it's working just like slavery did. A lot of people don't know that during slavery, slaves got paid wages. But they were also charged for the things they used, the food they ate, the shelter that they was shacked up 10 deep in the shack, the clothes they wore, the tools they used, the plowmaster shit. So if you pay me $3, but you charge me $5, I go $2 in debt every day. So how does that work?
Right.
So if you go in prison, they pay $20, $30, $40 a month, but you still have to buy your soap. To eat in a nourishing way, you have to buy your food because they bid on the contracts or who can feed you the cheapest. I know in Maryland, they up to like feeding you for like less than $1 a day. They per tray. They've incorporated how to feed you scraps, like they did where during slavery. Let's talk about what's really going on around here. We wonder why people are running through the streets insane when you are undereducated and underfunded them. When you sit here and will run down property values, buy the property, run the property value up, make money off of it for a decade, move somewhere else to do it, run this back down, buy the property again, and keep regenerating that wealth between you and your progeny while you watch others suffer in their own communities. That's the reality we live in.
Right. Listen, I want you to go ahead and spit because I already see where you're going. I've been around you long enough to know, and I can see you heating up. I can see you heating up. So I don't whatever you want to spit, whatever you want to old, new, whatever. The floor is yours. You go right ahead, spit whatever you want, bro.
I got something for you right here, right? And it's kind of an ode to a poem, to a line. And one of the poems I did for Aya Woke, the poem called Addiction. And it's the cadence of it is more like an ode to the cadence of it. So it's called What Nigga Means. I know you can hear your homeboy Tucson in the background, being the little jackass he like to be. He fled because I ain't paying him no attention. But this poem titled What Nigga Means. Hey, you want to know what nigga means? It means abject poverty. You either struggling to get it by any means and possibly become the victim of a trigger squeeze. Inadequate education and minimum wages that can't keep up with inflation. It's the mind's devastation when it learns that you can be anything doesn't mean anything. Being a nigga means that you're easily killed and easily filled with pipe dreams that might seem more like fantasies. Damned if you do or damned if you don't. But you damn sure damned if you be. Noticeably melanated but ignorant. Lack of knowledge is the real sin that has us stuck in tenements where we overspend to pay the rent. It's cops and robbers, but we all play the robbers. Because Officer Friendly ain't never been friendly when he stopped us. He just pops up ready to pop us with hot stuff because niggas deserve less than humanity. Get your little brother. You see I'm doing a podcast here. I apologize, y'all. No, get him and shut the door.
All right, so it looks. Oh, there we go. You good, bro? Go ahead, man. You good? You good? Unmute yourself. You muted. You muted. We can't hear you. You muted. Not yet. Not yet. Can you hear me? Looks like we having some technical difficulty with my brother over here. What I was getting ready to say before he came in, though. So, Spitfire t-shirts and Unusual Favor t-shirts are available. When I release my book for Spitfire Poetry 2, I'm sorry. For Unusual Favor Part 2, whenever I do my books, I always gotta have, some merch to go with it. I like to do that when I go to events and things of that nature. So I do have Spitfire Poetry and I have Unusual Favor tees, all different colors. Basically, I'm going to keep it white, I believe, but it's all different colors. I know a lot of the sisters that follow me love the pink color. I got some pinks and some purples coming. And Unusual Favor 2 will be available in June. Look for that in June, definitely. All right. So look, hopefully my brother can get back on, but if not, I still got some stuff I wanted to share anyway with you guys. All right. So poetry, like I said, is my therapy. I say it all the time because it really, really, truly is, man. I am reminded a lot of how poetry saved my life and like really helped me to get through some really tough times that I was dealing with. So let's do my brother. There you go. What's up, bro? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Good. Yeah. All right, you good? Go right ahead, bro.
Y'all.
You all good, man.
I love my babies, but they clingy sometimes.
Hey, they love daddy. It's all good.
Yeah, that's why I listen. Y'all got to show how love will disturb some things sometimes. So let me get this to you again then.
Okay.
I said, hey, you want to know what nigga means? It means abject poverty. You either struggling or get it by any means and possibly become the victim of a trick or squeeze. Inadequate education and minimum wages that can't keep up with inflation. It's the mind's devastation when it learns that you can be anything doesn't mean anything. Being a nigga means that you're easily killed and easily filled with pipe dreams that might seem more like fantasies. Damned if you do or damned if you don't, but you're damn sure damned if you be. Noticeably melanated but ignorant. Lack of knowledge is the real sin that has us stuck in tenements where we overspend to pay the rent. It's cops and robbers, but we'll all play the robbers because Officer Friendly ain't never been friendly. When he stopped us, he just pops up ready to pop us with hot stuff because niggas deserve less than humanity. And the powers that be can't stand losing. They can't stand to see the awakening of niggas going from niggerdom to building kingdoms. Cause it means one more nigga lost to the faceless matrix. One more conversion from one amongst the nameless and shameless to becoming the one amongst many a God with the ability to reach down and raise up other gods to godhood. And I swear that we all should, because being a nigga means the destruction of dreams. It means devolving to less than to appear to appease the masses. It means no love for the unwanted bastards of forgotten civilizations. At the first, it's the loss of the thirst for inspirations with no means to express. It means being 14 and catching a hole in your chest, no opportunity knocks, but holding your breath, and I just ain't with it. It's time to shift shit. From never ignorant getting goals accomplished, shout out to Pop, to never is gonna get assets. More perspective produce more assets and more aspects. As I go through this line and this plans and this travel that I walked and traversed, and I beat down every adversity that tried to be your enemy. And I swear for this life that I give to my seeds, I will stand up, I will die, I will bleed to make sure that they can perceive that they truly can be anything that they choose to be. That is my destiny. And I swear when I raise up these gods, these kings, these queens, they will be my legacy. Because they will never know what being a nigga means.
I love it, bro. I love it. What inspired that right there, Vic?
I talked to you and I said, what's your topic? You said, I'm tired of saying our youngs get shot. So I wrote that. You inspired it, bro.
Right. I appreciate that.
That's facts.
But what do you like, man? How did you stay and get to where you are? You know, we both over 35.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how did you, get to be able to be where you are right now and accomplish some of the things that you accomplished coming from where you came from?
Let me say this. One of my favorite quotes, I'm a quote guy. And one of my favorite quotes, and I'm shameful that I still haven't looked up more about this guy. I know a little bit about him. It was a guy named Art Turek. And he had a quote that he said, there's a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in a thing, you do it only when circumstances permit. When you committed to a thing, you accept no excuses, only results. I read this while I was incarcerated over the pen.
Mm-hmm.
By the second time I seen this on the council wall, I had it memorized. Because it made me realize that we have to learn to let go of the small things, shit that don't matter. My little bro, Mante Plato, they call him All In. Shout out, little bro. He used to always say to me, bro, haven't you really gotten everything you want in life? I said, you crazy. I've been in prison. I've been abused. I've been beat by police. The fuck you mean I got everything I wanted? He said, nah, I ain't saying about shit that done happened to you. He said, everything you ever really wanted, didn't you go get? I said, it's a lot of shit I ain't get. He said, not when you put your mind to it. And he made me think that everything that I ever wanted that I didn't get, it probably was things that really weren't that important to me to start with.
Right.
So we put focus on the unimportant instead of focusing on what really matters. And we take a lot of time away for those things that count. And we lose a lot of time in our lives because of that. Also, another quote I like, it was from Denzel Washington. And I might have the years wrong, but I believe he said 20. So I'm going to say that I'm paraphrasing because I ain't sure if I got the years right. But he said it took me 20 years to be an overnight success. So what he said is that he been working hard. Y'all think it was instant. Y'all think he just popped up on the scene. But that man been grinding the whole time.
Right.
You know me, bro. You was there, and you know for a fact when we had the book signing for our author, Lover X Reek, Drowned in Love Stories Told By. Shout out to you, Love.
Mm-hmm.
So not only was it her book signing, it was also my father's birthday. It was also the first time for me to do a whole calendar, a whole 12 months on the street since I was 18 years old, bro. I fell at 19 and a half, so I didn't get to see the whole 19. So for me to be moving to say I got a publishing company, to say I have a moving company, to say I'm married and have a family, to say that we're building and growing, you can't tell me that there's ever a time to tap out. Never a time to tap out.
Say it again.
I'll be 42 this year. My wife turned 42 in January. And we just be pushing forward. And this shit don't be sweet, yo. We be having problems and issues. Trust and believe.
We all do.
But the whole thing is you got to fight through it, man. I told my wife, I said, I didn't argue with my relationships. I said, but I finally found somebody I loved enough that was worth fighting for. I never had the patience to learn why was somebody bothered about something I did. I told you who I was. I was upfront about who I was. So after that, we ain't got no talk. That's how I always carried it. With her,
right. Of course, that's your baby. I know that.
Yeah.
So next week is Tuesday is my birthday, right? I'll be 48 years old next week.
Okay.
And the last, I would say 5 to 7 years have been I would say the last 10 years have been crazy. You know what I mean? Was able to get through and fight through some things and deal with some stuff that I didn't even know I had the strength to deal with.
Right. How about that?
You know what I mean? So I'm definitely going to I'm celebrate this year. I think this is the second year for the podcast. I have to ask Lady J off air how long. I know it's been almost 3 years, but I know I've been on here for at least 2. I've known her for about 3. Right. So, as we get older, man, things change, your mindset changes. You know what I mean? You think of things differently. You got a family. You tend to that main phrase that I hear from a lot of us is I just stay out the way. I just stay out the way. You know what I mean?
About that.
I just stay out the way.
I don't want no problems, man.
No, man.
Listen, I'm about peace. And right now, I just told one of my peoples, right? I said, I'm going to start answering the phone, going, protecting my peace. How may I help you? So I'm going to start answering the phone. Protecting my peace. How may I help you?
So
Like, I
look,
ain't
with
got a
that being
problem with
said,
you.
you gotta give me my favorite though. You gotta give me one of my favorites. You know where I'm going at. You gotta get that to me tonight, bro.
I'm still alive.
Yes, you gotta give me that. You gotta give me that.
All right, for those of y'all who haven't heard this is like John's favorite. He see one of his, man. Fuck that. That's John's favorite poem of mine right here.
It is definitely.
And I wrote it in 2010 in prison. For those that don't know, at the time I was the over the pen. I was the Grand Sheik of the Moor Science Temple. Shout
You were
out to all
what?
the brothers, all the L's and Bays. Love
Say
y'all.
that again. Repeat that again.
I said shout out to all the L's and Bays. I love y'all.
No, what did you say? You were what again?
Oh, the Grand Sheik of the Temple at that time down the pen.
Okay.
Acting Grand Sheik, I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
So the brothers, we was doing a chapter out the Moorish Holy Quran, the death and burial of Elizabeth, John the Baptist's mother.
Mm-hmm.
And in the scripture, it talks about how the blessing is, even though your mother's gone, which is always going to be a hurtful thing, but it's death is nothing but another part of life. And when it has done, when the body has done its work here, it cuts the cords that binds in the earth, and so it can sail on smoother plains. So I had just recently left a young brother up to New Jail, I believe, whose little sister was murdered. And for the way the young man carried himself, man, and I feel terrible. I can't remember the young brother's name because I never got a chance to really get to know him. But I quickly gained a lot of respect for him because he still carried himself like a man. He still held his head up. He still moved strong. You wouldn't have known the pain he was going through if you didn't get a chance to find out, because he did not wear it on his sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
Held and stayed strong for his family and everything. And I had immense respect for that young man. So when I'm down the pen and I hear the brother speak, I just felt moved and I wrote, I'm still alive. So for those who haven't heard it, here's I'm still alive. I say, hold on, I'm sorry. You know I got the bad allergies, bro.
Mm-hmm. It's all good, brother.
This snuffle up against I got over here. So I say, don't weep for me when I release this form. Stand strong, because I'm still alive. I've just moved on.
Mm.
Back to the source from whence I came. My spirit unites with ancestors on a higher plane. Let go of the physical, bask in the spiritual. One with the most high, where we takes place of I, and I unites with us to supreme energy forms flesh from dust. Once again, because once again, with more lessons learned, I've become the embodiment of the supreme being strength, but in physical manifest.
Mm.
As I pass test after test, reincarnate stronger breath after breath, as I bring more light, as I dispel wrongs, I bring more right, as I fought with and battled the darkness and shadows and saw, till I need flesh no more. So don't weep for me when I release this form. Stand strong, because I'm still alive. I've just moved on. Back to the source from whence I came. My spirit unites with ancestors on a higher plane. Let go of the physical, bask in the spiritual, one with the most high, where we takes place of I, and I unites with us to supreme energy forms flesh from dust. Once again, because once again, with more lessons learned, I've become the embodiment of the supreme being strength, but in physical manifest.
I love it, bro. I love, man. That's definitely my favorite poem of yours right there. And when I first heard it, man, I'm telling you, I think we was rehearsing for I Am Woke.
I believe so.
Right. And Vic, seriously, bro, I had to contain myself because I almost like got emotional, and it made me like amped up at the same time because it took me to a place that I was at where I was really I didn't know what was going on. I was done. You know what I'm saying? And bro, that I'm still alive because I kept saying that. I would say that at different my wife is a singer. Everybody that knows me know my wife is a singer. So she would go to different churches like she still does now and sing at funerals or whatever services. And I kept saying, I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
Right.
I'm still here. I'm still here. You know what I mean?
Gotta
When
remember
when you said that shit when we was rehearsing one day, I'm telling you, I almost took off running
that.
in the spot that we was at. You know what I mean?
I
But
appreciate that, bro.
so when you was incarcerated though, is that where you picked up your pen, or was that before you even?
Nah, I actually, and shout out to my cousin Nah, yo, I love him, bro. He just actually had to turn himself over to some bogey, but that's neither here nor there.
Mhm.
So cuz when we were young, like 10 and 11, 11 and 12, 'cause he a year older than me, I would hear him rap. And I was a person that at a young age was introduced to a lot of different music. My mother listened to, alternative music. She listened to gospel. She sang in a choir. Excuse me. She listened to R&B, of course. My father listened to reggae, R&B. My sister listened to rap. My oldest brother listened to a lot of rock music. I swear I was the only 8 year I know who had
Went out, yeah. Went out. You may have to go out and come back in. It went out. I can't hear you right now. But where he was going at with the rock and roll, it's funny. I used to love Guns N' Roses when I was a kid. I always loved hip hop and things of that nature, and I always heard music in my house growing up too. My mother would play music sometimes when we'd be cleaning or cooking. She'd be cooking breakfast and stuff. But in middle school, I met a young lady that I was in middle school with, and she was a avid Guns N' Roses fan. That's how she would talk about just Guns N' Roses all the time. And I heard that song that they had back then, "Welcome to the Jungle." Man, I used to love that, and we used to use that to I used to use that when I was playing Pop Warner football at the time to get me amped up or get me in a mindset of just going out there and trying to rip somebody's head off. But anyway, yeah, so that's my brother Vic the CEO. Follow that guy, man. Go on Instagram, Facebook, follow him and his wife at Four Authors. If you got a book you need published, you definitely want to get with him. Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, man. Listen, it was
He's
another
busy
one
to
of my
check.
babies, man.
I hear you.
They
I hear
call
you.
and stuff too. So I just heard you talk about the books. We do have a publishing company called Four Authors. We have like 9 books on Amazon right now. Everything from erotic novella to children books, to be honest. My mother was one of the assistant principals at Henderson Hopkins. She retired. We published her children's book called God Won't Answer Me. My wife had already published a three-part children's book series called Counting with Little Black Sheep, Colors with Little Black Sheep, and ABCs with Little Black Sheep. Both of my 3-year-olds know how to count, do their ABCs. They do math all day. They are very educated. They will grab the books up and read it. You cannot trick them. They know what it is. We
Mhm.
also, my wife has a long time book that was one of her first book, Poison Ivy. I can't wait till she puts out Poison Ivy 2. I have an urban fiction coming. It's called Money Grows on Trees, right?
Mhm.
White Collar, Money Grows on Trees. So I'm waiting for her to finish editing that because we try not to edit our own books. So I'm waiting for her to finish editing that so we can get that book out. We also have another children's book called Blue, the Love Bug, based on my nephew Blue. So please get that book, y'all, for y'all children. My nephew Blue, he's about 3, 4 years old, a very affectionate young man. This boy, if he sees you looking anywhere near sad, he gives you a hug. He tries, and always makes sure to make everybody feel better. So on the way home from North Carolina, my wife shouts out Blue the Love Bug that loves the hug. So on the way up, my wife will pick a color. My daughter Dakota would name the bug, and I would write the captions. So I wrote a book based on the color of bug and the color my wife named and the bug my daughter named, and it was based on my nephew Blue. So please, not only support us, support my nephew with this book, man. Blue the Love Bug, a great children's book to teach about tolerance and diversity, and we just try to be for the people at all times, man.
You know, I remember when they first opened up Henderson Hopkins. One of my babies at the time was going to Patterson Park right there. Um, You a deep bro. You a deep brother, man. Like, is that where your love for education, all that came from your mom? Is that where that started at for
Really,
you?
it did, right? My mother, and I tell this story to people all the time, right? I could have seen my mother at 5 o'clock with a fast flashlight, right? 7 o'clock, I see her say, "Mom," with a flashlight. She say, "Where you look?" And I promise you, I asked her, did she do this on purpose? To this day, she has not given me an answer. Like every time I ask her, "Ma, was that you trying to teach me how to study and look for things?" And she never says yes, no, or anything for some reason. Because what happened was, anything I had a question for, I've always been very inquisitive. You could never just tell me something and I just take it as face value. I have to dig in and go between the lines. I have to dig up every rocky soil I can to figure out the truth.
Right.
So oddly enough, my background is deeply rooted in the church, was raised in the church, loved my church family. But the way that my mother taught me to study and to research and to seek truth is what took me away from the church. Um,
Mm.
see,
Hmm.
what I knew not to ask my mother before I exhausted all my resources.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of saying, "Mom, what does this mean?" Or "Mom," they said, "Oh, Mom, they said Columbus discovered America, but it was already people there. He wasn't even in America for real. He was in the Caribbean." So when I see this and I read the books and they teaching us something on the board where the books say a whole different thing, I wouldn't say, "Mom, what are they talking about?" I say, "Mom, I need to go to the library." We were living in Garden Village. She had me at Rosedale Library 2, 3 times a month because I had to research and study something. I needed more books to read. I get punished and I would read books. Can't take books away from a child. It was like, okay, what kind of parent you are? You're not gonna tell her, "Hey, stop reading." So I'll be punished and I for getting in trouble for whatever my childish self did. And I just read. I just kept reading and reading. And another way I could get companionship, because I get punished. My father punish you to your room. I had them old school fathers,
Mm-hmm.
You can't go outside, you can't watch TV, stay in your
Mm-hmm.
bedroom, don't do nothing. So
Mm-hmm.
I would wait till my oldest brother, Vern, who was like 8, 9 years older than me, you know what I'm saying? And when he was doing his homework, I get him to let me help him study with his homework. So when I'm 8, 9 years old, I'm doing homework with somebody that's 16, 17 years old. So I just kept learning more things. So when I would go to school, I'd be so far beyond. I remember
Mm-hmm.
the Bit by Bit, Look Again. Remember those books in school, the McGraw-Hill books?
Mm-hmm.
Third grade of Moravia.
Bit by bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you remember. Third grade of Moravia, the advanced group was reading like the fourth, fifth grade level. I had a teacher named Miss Scott that tried to get me promoted to the fourth grade because I outread the whole advanced group. It's like I just was shooting past everybody, but plus I'm an avid reader. I genuinely enjoy reading things. So it made it that much easier for me because I wanted to do it anyway. And
It
it's like
makes
I was
sense for
always
you to have a publishing company and all.
man,
It all
listen,
makes sense now. It do.
man, you could Google my wife, right? And she Thomasina Deloach now, but you go over
Right.
Google Thomasina Rabbit, man. She was in newspaper articles when she was in elementary school
Mm-hmm.
for putting a play together. You know what I'm saying? For writing and things like that. Like she's an amazing one herself.
Share something else with us, man, before we get out of here. Um,
Or the poeticals,
no, bro.
or the
I mean,
library.
yeah, definitely, no, definitely
Shut up.
poetical, but I want the people to see how you are able to do that freestyle poetry. All right. I
Okay.
I was
Okay, I
introduced
can
to
do that.
this.
I can do
I
that.
was I was introduced to freestyle poetry a few years ago by my little sister Arthur Polar Shakespeare. Shout out to her. I never really looked at it that way. Of course, freestyle rap and all that, yeah. But I never at that time I never thought about, you know what? It was always something I had to write it down and
Is
all
it
of
all
that.
music poetry though, bro?
That it is. And when
All
she did
music
that, bro,
poetry. See, I
she
rap
blew
first.
my
I
mind.
started rapping first, like I was telling you before the mic got cut off. My cousin Nard, I like that we were very close. He always calls the black sheep of the family. At one point in time, they was keeping us apart because we was being knuckleheads in the same way at the same time somehow. And but one day we was over at my mother's house. That's where we was living off of Frankfurt. And I would sit there and sneak off and rap to myself because I wasn't sure if I was good or not. So
Mm-hmm.
one day I was probably like 11, maybe 12 years old, and I was in my parents' bedroom and I was rapping to myself. And Nard happened to be coming down the stairs and heard me. He was like, "That's you?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I was really just trying to emulate him, kind of. He
Right.
said, "When you started rapping, you wrote that." I said, "I've been doing it for a little bit at the time, but I never showed nobody." So it's crazy because I was going to school out Sedona called Hazelwood, and my man, matter of fact, James Neely, y'all check him out, Spotify, YouTube, all that shit. He on there. Me, James Neely, it was Turbo Lloyd, Ellis Good, Antoine Kirby, Herbert Watson. And Herbert Watson moms had a nice little plug for us, but we had some little dumbass young child altercation that messed us up. But all of us rap, all of us had our own style, our own things we spoke about, and as young children, we already had our asses on our necks, on our shoulders. Oh, why you rapping about this? You ain't do that, and all this stuff. Man, it was all the little boy group entertainment stuff back then.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first introduction to how anything when it comes to entertainment can fall apart when people ain't united and had their heads together. But all of them were good guys. I
Right.
remember all of them from middle school, they were all good guys. And as far as I know, not one of them out here doing anything bad in life. They all doing pretty well and taking care of their families as far as I know. So but
We got about 11 minutes left, man. Share something, share some of that freestyle shit for me, man, so they can see what I'm
what
talking
topic
about.
you want?
I don't care, whatever you want. It don't even matter.
All right.
Whatever you feeling.
All right. I'm gonna say this. As a young man, I remember being so confused. I get this fat remote with a TV with a fat back that had a glass tube. I click it on, I see Brooke Shields, I see all these so-called blonde-haired brutes. But I ain't see too many women that look like my mother, my sister. I ain't see too many people that look like my brother, my father. And at this, I felt bothered. See, I was kind of a weird child. I like watching old things. So when I see black and white things up on the TV screen, it was real frightening, real enlightening to see that we was stepping and fetching and butlering all around, and that you said you detested us, but you had our mothers breastfeeding your children while you had us lynched to a tree with a rope, murdering and killing, and cutting open the wounds of our woman to watch the fetus spill out. And you say that we were the savages? Y'all was the ones that was putting the real deal out, chained up and shackled, because you was too lazy to do your own work and had us out here feeling like we ain't know our own worth, discarded us and mixed us in so we couldn't catch each other's language. Stuck like Babylon, had us babbling and babbling on till we was talking ridiculous shit. Started embracing this nigga shit. How the fuck is it cool to be used and oppressed and then embrace that? Because if he say nigga, you want to kill him. But then you brace your man and say, yeah, I'm the realest nigga. Let's go get him. So see, it's a sad thing when we get this Stockholm syndrome and start embracing what our oppressors did to us and oppress each other while we oppressing us, and they out here killing and murder us. They done took their hands off because now we killing and murder us. Sad that we became so murderous. No respect, lost for life. Don't give a fuck, so we live in trife and expected to go and sit behind bars. How is that the norm? But see, they fooling you again because it's definitely not the norm. I bet you ain't know it's more of us in college than it is in prison. I bet you ain't know it's more of them on Section 8 than it is of us. But they got you thinking like you the ones that's always living in poverty, like they forgot about the people in the trailer parks that's out here robbing and cooking meth up in the trailer parks. Drug dealers and users, but they treat us like we the drug dealers and users, but it's more likely for little Billy to get high than Timmy. See, this is a gimme. These throwaway jewels. Shit that you should use so you can prevent your seeds and your progeny from being raised as fool, because school ain't really going to school them to shit. School only go to school them to how to go out here and sell drugs, pimp bitches, and turn tricks. This is the shit that they trying to get at us, and we got to give it back. We lost all respect for self, so we got to get our minds back together. We lost all self-respect, so we got to get our minds back together. See, we were the geniuses that circumnavigated the globe when they still thought that the earth was flat. We were the ones who knew that a wind stream from Africa could get us here intact. Wind blowing in the sails while we sailed along across the Atlantic. Then they brought us chained back right across the Atlantic and acting like this was the first time we got here, like we wasn't the first that landed, way before Plymouth Rock, because Jamestown, Virginia didn't even exist when we got to this strip. Learn the truth, y'all. Y'all gotta figure this shit out, because the reason that we are still stuck in this downfall is because we still ain't figured out how to stand with our feet firmly planted and rise up. Check it out, find out, go get your prize and open your eyes up. Third eye, get your mind up. Go back to Queens and Kings. Time to rewind us. Because our destiny is to go back to the start, back to the heart of things. When we ruled the earth, they seen peace. When they took over, it was war and blood in the streets, but now we can take it back. You got to be willing to die for what you believe, and that's why we ain't get the fuck up out of these streets, and they got us stuck in these cell bars where we be holding the heat, standing on these blocks, the coldest cop back ready to squeeze, or give a fuck about another life that's ready to ease, the soul straight up out the body, yeah, we ready to squeeze, and best believe, while they out here eating up all our cheese, we got a plate full of hungry, wise women and seeds. That's it, bro.
Bro. Tell you, man, I appreciate you, Vic, man. You a solid guy, always been since the first time I met you, man.
I try to be the same every day, yo.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, you know, as we got closer and we started talking, man, I would never know some of the stuff that you dealt with, because you're a strong brother. You do not wear any of it. You understand what I'm saying? Definitely, bro. So, man, I appreciate you. Your wife, man. Tell your wife I love her, man. I love y'all, man.
Real quick. And I'm going to put this in the air because I want to make it for real. We was talking the other day about men and mental health. But we always deal with our women and mental health.
Yes.
But as men, especially as brown men, man, we expected to be so strong. We supposed to expect to be stoned. Like, all of us ain't breaking. So I was talking to John about us putting something together, some kind of support group or podcast, some kind of something that shows the aspect, because all the men in my circle, either they married to their children's mother, very active in their children's life, or they have custody of their children. So I like to put that truth out there, man. Have some support so people can see how men really are living and are taking care of their families and doing what we're supposed to do as good husbands and good fathers and good sons and good brothers. Exactly.
And I'm all for that, and I'll definitely promote the shit out of that, because I love it. You know, that's what's needed. I believe a lot of the problems that we have out here in our community can be solved by us. That's just how I feel. You know what I mean? We got to come together. We got to come together and you know, get you know, look past other shit so we can have one main goal and focus in mind. But nobody's gonna do it like we're gonna do it. Nobody's going to lead the children like we are. I just don't believe that no one else is, but besides us and our sisters. You know.
Listen, why would we expect another author to write our story?
Right. That's right. That's right.
Nobody know your story like you.
That's right.
Nobody.
That's right. Vic, tell the people how they can follow you and keep up with you, man, and what you got going on, bro.
Listen, my personal business page, I call it a business page, but it's for whatever. And pardon me, y'all. Y'all see me coughing a little bit. But find me on Deloach Bay on Instagram and Facebook. That's DELOATCHBEY. You can also follow me and my wife, our business, on 4 Authors. That's the number 4 _ AUTHORS on Instagram. Also follow my moving business, Delvic Moving in Harlan, DELVIC Moving in Harlan on Instagram. That's also my Gmail, delvicmoving@gmail.com. Holla at me. We do out-of-state moves. Matter of fact, John, you know why we was producing the director of the play last year, we was cleaning out of Brownstone, New Jersey. You know that for a fact.
I remember you telling me. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. And I couldn't believe it.
On our moving company page, y'all can see the pictures of the jobs we do. We involve youth to get them custom community service hours. We involve the youth to teach them discipline, the importance of working. I hire. If you need any work done, holler at me. We're telling you we got the cheapest prices. We have the cheapest prices for you with the moving business. We do light moving and hauling, moving from in town, out of town, local offices. We doing hoarder houses now because that's what we did at Brownstone. We did a hoarder house in Jersey on Storms Avenue. That house sold once we cleaned it out. In about 30, 45 days after we cleaned it out, that house sold. So if you're a realtor, you need your stuff cleaned out, holler at Delvic Moving and Hauling.
For
Business
any
office, holler at Delvic Moving and Hauling. Your home, college, holler at Delvic Moving and Hauling.
for anybody watching or that'll be watching it later when we do the rebroadcast, they are definitely about their business. Like he said, they were doing a whole production and still moving and doing their other businesses at the same time. It amazed the shit out of me. You know what I mean? Him and his wife are definitely a super duo team. And they take that shit seriously, man. They take everything they do seriously. Definitely. So you in good hands and whatever you're doing with them. All right. Be sure to check out Brother Chad's show coming up next. Empathetic Perspectives, I believe. Rock out with me next week, y'all. Celebrate with me next week. My birthday is Tuesday. Wednesday, I got my sister EJ, the poet, coming on. We're going to talk about a book that she got out. Be sure to follow me and follow my sister Arthur Polar Shakespeare. Come on out to, I believe it's Sizzle on April 23rd. Is a Sunday. She's doing an open mic day. I'll be giving out all the details as we get closer to that. And I want to see everybody out if they can get out. All right. Love you guys, bro. I appreciate you, man, for tuning in and always coming through, bro. Definitely stay in touch with you. Hit me up next week so we can rap and, you know what I mean, put some stuff in motion, bro.
Most definitely. Love you too, bro.
Love you too, my man. Hey, if you want to be blessed out here, bless somebody else.